So we've developed a suite of pilot questionnaires, and our questionnaires have been developed for 8-year-olds, the parents of 8-year-olds, and the parents of infants. And Tony will give you much greater detail about the piloting of those questionnaires following my talk. But here I want to show you the information that we're measuring to capture this really comprehensive, multiple dimensional framework of well-being. So in our child questionnaire, we're measuring hedonic and eudaimonic well-being. We're also measuring that outer ring, so the social, the physical, the cognitive functioning. We're also measuring outside of that ring the developmental context, so what's happening in schools, in families, their experience of friendships and bullying. And we've got, of course, because of our name, but also because of the importance of this in current society, very detailed measurements about digital experience, which is something, again, that we're working on, because in 5 years' time, when everything is going to start kicking off with our pilot studies, the digital context is going to be probably bigger, because it's been increasing in size since the 1970s, and it's becoming a much more pervasive context that's very difficult to distinguish from everybody's everyday communication and behavior. Then in the parent questionnaire, we are measuring things that would be very important influences on children's well-being, but also having this bi-directional relationship, and also the things that are going to create those structures that you saw in the model where you've got the valleys and the balls rolling into these little valleys. So the background of the parent, their relationship status, their physical health, their drug and alcohol use, information as well about the child's experiences from the parent's perception. So we've got parents reporting on their children's behavior. And then for the parents of 8-year-olds, here, the parents reporting on what the children is experiencing in the parent's view, and then also some of the parenting practices. And from the parents of infants, and those of you who are interested in the economics of early childhood and infancy, hopefully we will have captured some things of interest to you here, but please let us know if we need more. So the baby's development, the baby's habits, childcare, and things like the relationships of the parents with the children, and also things about a lot of information about how the parent and child are interacting and the parent's perception of work-life balance. So have we got it? Did we do a good job? Are we actually measuring child well-being in a way that's comprehensive and useful? So one of the things that's important to bring you back around to now is this idea of the oranges and the motorbikes. So at these different conceptual levels, if you want to study child well-being as hedonia and eudaimonia, we have those measurements for you. But if you want to take a broader perspective where you're looking at psychological, behavioral, physical functioning, that's another level of motorbike that's being created by a new set of unit of oranges. And so we have that for you as well. What about if you want to measure well-being at this macro level of a policy framework? Well, yes, we have that for you as well, because we have all of these different dimensions of lived experience in the different developmental contexts. And what if you wanted to take a sociological perspective on well-being as being the structures that are deeply embedded in society that could cause deep-rooted inequalities from a social perspective? Yes, we have those as well. So what do we have to do next? One of the things that I'm really interested in our group doing is mapping these different dimensions across the child and the parent surveys and looking at that from a longitudinal design perspective. So in conclusion, bringing us back around to the question I asked at the start of the talk, what is well-being and who is right? My response to you and to my own question is that there's no right perspective. And actually, it's about the units of analysis that we take that are so well described in our different academic fields, in our different disciplines, in the different priorities of policymakers, practitioners, researchers, young people, and their families. So different units of analysis can be used to zoom out and in. And well-being as a concept is always out of reach to some extent, because there's no perfect holistic way to look at it, but we can keep trying. Thanks very much.